Hi everybody, I am SS the Showstopper and today is the 2nd of February 2024. February has started out pretty interesting. It's not enough to cancel the entire January, but February has been interesting so far. I see a lot of people comparing me to Rihanna because I have a big forehead, but listen, no angle that you guys choose to take it from will be an insult. It will always be a compliment because you guys are comparing me to a beautiful multi-billionaire woman. And on what scale would any person well thinking take that as an insult? That has to be a compliment. I am deeply motivated and being compared to a multi-billionaire woman. And also, God has blessed me with a big head because it stores a lot of information. I have the ability to store a lot of information, guys, more than the average individual. And so I am grateful for it. So it matters not. I love my big forehead. It does work miracles for me. It does take me to places that the average person would not be permitted to. It has given me a lot of perks. Moving from one country to the other, and my big forehead has worked out for me. I think that it's very unfortunate that for a lot of people having a big forehead didn't work out for them. It doesn't always, but I would like more perks. I would like more perks in the future. So thank you guys. I take it as a compliment, and I warmly receive it, and it matters not. Okay. So speaking of moving from one country, I've been doing some international traveling, and upon doing some international traveling, I realized that there was a clash between Jada Kingdom and Steph London, right? There was also a clash between TJ and Valiant. Seems to me that they have put it on pause. Valiant have an interest in pushing it. There's also a clash brewing between Skeng and Squash, of which they have allowed their proteges to respond to each other rather than them responding directly. So the proteges have eventually become a pawn in their game. But now I'm traveling. Bye-bye. I'm traveling internationally. Now we see Meg Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj have been going at it. People have been saying this and that about them. It's doing well. It's streaming. Both of them, I think, are on the same pace because the time period and the numbers are gaining the same traction. Even though Meg Thee Stallion one was released earlier, it's still on the same scale and traction as Nicki Minaj. So via YouTube, that is. So both of them have been doing well. However, I didn't realize that the good old Benzino and the good old Eminem were actually clashing, and they were going at it to the point where Benzino has threatened Eminem that he has 48 hours to respond or he's cancelled. Now, in my history of knowing Benzino, he's the owner of the Source Award, the Source magazine, which was a great hip-hop magazine. It was the number one selling hip-hop magazine in the US at the time, and it caters to everything centers around hip-hop music, from video vixens to rappers, their lifestyle, this, that, you understand, all these kind of things, management, labels, and all of these kind of things that come into play and center around hip-hop. Now, I remember Benzino not necessarily taking on to Eminem, so much so that it was reported that Eminem got a Source Award and Benzino took it from him. Benzino, that is, also had called a press conference. And when he called a press conference, he was speaking on Eminem being racist and that he had acquired tapes that were saying that of Eminem rapping, and he was saying some very racist things towards black people, towards black women, and it was very insulting that people decided to support this guy. And so Benzino was adamant that they need to remove Eminem from the black community. He needs to be expelled from hip-hop and so forth. They were just not having it. What's surprising to me is that I saw wherein people were speaking on an interview where so many persons were speaking on the Source magazine back then and stuff like that. And I'm shocked that so many people would have been privy to the information that Eminem was actually racist then, if the tapes provided that, and he should be removed. And people were still supporting him. People in the Black American community space were still supporting Eminem. So I found that very shocking at the time. I know it was signed by Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, I'm sorry. And he was on a roll, but I was wondering, where was Dr. Dre morality at the time? Where was Dr. Dre sense of direction at the time. I know that, they wanted Eminem, who is marketable at the time, to sign, but at some point, your morality, that's like signing a KKK, right? Now, the reason I support Benzino argument is that as a child growing up, I was taken on to Eminem while I was in high school. I, listened to Eminem from one of his very first tape before he got signed. And one of the songs was, I never meant to give you much booze, girl. I never meant to bring you to my world. But now you're sitting in the corner crying, that's how much I was into Eminem, and I was tuning into Eminem at the time, and so I was listening to him. This was before the guy got signed, okay? And so when he got signed, he was on a roll. Everybody know him, everybody realized, everybody get to understand who this guy is. He got to fame, but I was, in tune with Eminem at the time. And me and my friends in high school, we were like always about Eminem, and we wanted, because the guy can spit, the guy can this, and we recite his song, because we were in tune with him. The Cash Money, the this, the that, all this time. Yeah, all of those within that time space we were tuned into, and Eminem happened to be one of them. I say that to say this. Eminem was shot to fame. Eminem got his awards, his this, his that. He was selling, breaking records and all that good stuff. I didn't know that Eminem was racist. I actually learned it about a week ago or something like that. I had no idea that Eminem was actually racist. I say that to say this. When we listen the tapes, he was saying some racist things about black women. He was calling black women dumb, white, and he was comparing black women to white women. And he was saying that black women are dumb, white women are smart. You wouldn't date a black woman because, what did you say? You catch a butt and catch a SS and it's dragging and something like that. And then he would date a black girl, no, because he does the F with nigger, ER word. And then he doesn't, a whole lot of things that he was saying that was very deep and dark. He was calling black people monkey and all of these kind of things. And they said that he was in a group at the time with 3 others. I listened it and it sounded like Eminem. It sounded deep like Eminem. So Benzino took the mantle to say that, no, this guy cannot be a part of hip-hop scene. If he's racist, what the hell is he doing? That's like signing a KKK. What the hell is he doing? So that went to that. That's the reason Benzino decided that he was going to call a press conference and let the media be aware of this guy. He's an imposter in hip-hop and stuff like that. But what's surprising is that the black community still supported him. If all of this information was presented to the public by Benzino and he purchased the tapes, he purchased it as evidence from the group for $15,000, and this was all Eminem voice. Why did the black community continue to support Eminem knowing this information? Why was this information masked from the public space? This is what I'm trying to find out. Like, why were black people so taken onto a racist? I mean, the tapes are there to prove it. What more do you guys really want to know that this guy was actually racist? You understand? And looking back at Eminem bleaching out his hair blonde and saying all of these kind of things and stuff, then I'm seeing where the hate was coming from. I would hate him also because the guy clearly do not like me. He's saying things, and they're saying that he was dating a black woman at the time and he broke up, or she broke up with him. And so he was upset, and it wasn't directed towards every black woman at the time and stuff like that. But the tape was directed towards every black woman. At no point did he call the particular female name. He didn't do that. His message was directed towards all black women. So that's a big X. Then explain the part where he's calling black people monkey and he's calling people N-word and stuff like that. So if it's directed towards a black woman, what does the N-word has to do with her? You and her broke up. It happens all the time. And this reminds me of another guy by the name of Kid Rock. Kid Rock is a rock star, right? Rock artist. And prior to being a rock artist, Kid Rock was a rapper. He dated black girls and stuff like that. He had an issue and a falling out. A black girl broke up with him. I think she got pregnant for him or some other guy or something like that. Something brewing. But anyways, the girl broke up with him and stuff like that. And he went on a rampage just the same. And he was saying some foul things, about black people and stuff like that. Case in point, many years ago, I think maybe around 7 to 10 years ago, he made some statements about Beyonce. And it was some scathing remarks that Beyonce isn't all that, she's not attractive, something like that. He likes skinny blonde woman with big tits and all of these kind of things. And I was wondering, why was he targeting Beyonce? Did Beyonce say something to him or about him? Did Beyonce team attack him in some way or some form? Why did Kid Rock, who was always known to date black women, decided to become a rock star and date who he pleased, which he pleases, which he's within his right to? I'm sorry, what am I saying? He's within his right to date. Why would he feel the need to come and target black women and then saying these things about Beyonce? You understand me? So I'm sorry. I'm trying to find out the relation. It seems as if these guys are really racist. A lot of these guys out there are racist. You know, one thing with me, when it comes to racism, I never take my foot off a person who is non-black neck. I've never sat back cozy and comfortable saying that this person is not racist, this person is one of us, this person is our clique, is our friend, is our this. I always think in my mind that they're an opportunist. It's either they're an opportunist or they're fascinated with me. I've dated guys who are white before and I've never took my foot off their neck. I've never come and said that, okay, perhaps this guy is not racist, perhaps this guy is not this, is not that. People would ask the question, why date him? Because he is a man, and the same disrespect that he can spill is the same disrespect a black man can and will and have spill towards black women. So that's the reason I would venture out. And I don't think there is enough black men around in one space for most women, especially women who are productive, women who have something meaningful to contribute to life and society, can date. You understand me? Their fundamentals are different. So I'm not segueing and I'm not going off on a tangent. I'm explaining something for those who would be questioning it. The fundamentals are different and it caters to women. They have their women who it caters to. But it's not for me. And I'm not going to go back and forth or tooth and nail with any guy as to why he support this, why he say that, why he does. I'm just not. The world is very big and I'm free to venture out and look into who or what, is out there that's, appropriate for me. And so while I was there and I was dating someone who was white, I never sat back and say, okay, he's not racist or it's not possible that he would say something. I know the respect was there. They respect me enough. I was respected, and that's one of the things that I cherish, the fact that I was respected. But I've never sat back and say that, they wouldn't this or they wouldn't do that. I've never done that with a non-black individual either, whether it be a man or a woman, because I know prejudice and colorism do exist. I know racism do exist. And you can't sex racism away. So for all those persons who are trying to do it, you cannot do it. Back to the topic. So these two guys have been known to say racist things about black people. And I'm wondering, why is it that Eminem is still widely received by the black community? Now we see we're in Benzino. I took shot at him with one diss track. I think it's called Virtualizer or something like that. I don't want to tell a lie. And then Eminem clapped back with Doomsday, and then he, I think he responded with another song, Doomsday 2. Right, and Benzino respond with the Black Elvis. He's the Elvis Presley of the black community, just like what Elvis Presley did. He stole rock and roll from the black community. Eminem come out, Eminem stole hip hop from the black community and stuff like that. And Benzino is saying that he's not necessarily mad at Eminem. He's mad at black people who continue to support a guy, knowing that he's racist and stuff like that. That is what he is upset about. And I can understand. I know people don't like Benzino reputation or whatever it is. That, listen, nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. You understand me? And, the beef is very detailed because he's speaking of all the people that Eminem signed and none of them have any limelight, have a number one hit, have ever had a hit song. And he spoke of all the people who drop out, who pass out in hip-hop. If you're so for hip-hop, you've never been to Nipsey Hussle funeral, you've never been to Pop Smoke funeral, you have never been to any of these guys, and yet you're close to 50 Cent and stuff like that. So people are wondering, what's up? What's up, Eminem? Are you a racist? You haven't seen Eminem anywhere. He's not going to places. He's not doing anything. I'm thinking in my head, and here's my analogy. This is what I get from it. Okay, this is what I get from it. I do think that Eminem is racist. I believe that Eminem saw the opportunity because he had mad talent, and there was a space for this comical type of hip hop music. Also, he found a niche market wherein people had ill feelings towards their parents and stuff like that. And he saw that as a great niche market to tap into. And he used his mother, and his mother became the sacrificial lamb and stuff like that. But all in all, Eminem, I do believe that he's very racist. I believe that he doesn't like black people. I believe that he has a high tolerance, and that's the reason he speaks less. He come out less in the public because he doesn't want these things to continue to brew. He doesn't want people to look at him sideways. He doesn't want people to come at him sideways either. He doesn't want these questions to be asked about him. So he's very selective on his interviews. He's very selective about things. And we noticed that when he went to beef, according to Eminem, which is true, he went with pop star from the Christina Aguilera to the Britney Spears to the, I think it was Limp Bizkit, one of those kind of rock guys. Then he went, this last one was Machine Gun Kelly. These are guys who he believe he can target. And so because he won the battle, people actually say, yeah, Eminem. But he has never went tooth and nail with a guy who is black. He has never went tooth and nail, and he's very selective in what he's doing. Well, I can't fault him if he's selective, because if he thinks highly that he's going to lose a battle to a black man, then he has a reputation to protect. And he's very strategic about it. But my question is, why is the black community continuing supporting this individual? He's racist. I think that he's trash. I don't like him anymore. I'm not taking on to him. I'm not interested in hearing his music or supporting anything that Eminem does. And I don't know why people know that this guy is blatantly racist and stuff like that. The evidence were provided, and people are still out there supporting him. People are still making excuses. People are still making excuses. And it's beyond me. It's beyond me. Besides myself, I can't understand. I'm flabbergasted at the fact that this guy would get unsurmountable support from the black community just the same, knowing that this guy has said such nasty things about black women. He should have been cancelled from way back. Benzino was right, but the narrative was spun to make Benzino look like the bad guy, and this is how destructive the media can be. The narrative was spun to make Benzino look so destructive, or be the problematic guy, the bully, and stuff like that. And I remember even I think it was Proof once was saying that F the source and stuff like that. Where's Proof today? R.I.P. to Proof. You understand me? Even, it goes on and on. I can't imagine. I didn't know. I heard about this from last week, where someone had posted it online saying that Eminem is racist, and they brought the information forward. And that's why I didn't want to speak on it, because of the whole clash thing. And I was catering to the local scene. But now traveling internationally, I see these kind of things, and I hear these kind of things, and it's brewing where Benzino is going at him. I'm looking at it and I'm like, why were people supporting this guy? What's wrong with the black community? Why would you guys think that supporting an Eminem? But then people will say that you guys support Iggy Azalea, and Iggy Azalea had did a song, and she's saying that she's going to beat you like a runaway slave. You understand? And people were like, I'm sorry, what? You're going to do what? You're going to compete? You're going to do what? You're going to beat someone like a runaway, or whip them like a runaway slave? Why would a white woman fix her mouth to say these kind of things? And people were looking at it. People were saying it. But then there were black men who still cater to her, still love her, still support her, still like her physique, still like all of these kind of things. So I guess the backlash is coming from the same thing with Eminem. People are saying that, well, if you guys can support Iggy Azalea after the comments made, then they are within their rights to support Eminem just the same. It's like there's no pride, I guess, or love for oneself, for each other. So it's a comparison being made. As long as, the person is of sexual value, I guess they can be supported. Everything will be excused. But I guess Eminem is not of sexual value to the black community and to the hip hop scene. So he should be cancelled. But as long as the person is of sexual value to the hip hop scene, it being Iggy Azalea, okay, let's green light her. She's okay. She gets a pass. Is that what I'm looking at? You guys be the judge. I don't know, but that seemed to be the case for me. I could be wrong, but you guys be the judge, because what I'm looking at is very, very, very deep. And, I don't want to go into the history. I don't want to go into the cognitive dissonance. I don't want to go into the Stockholm syndrome. I don't want to attack it as yet. But this looks a bit too close to comfort, and it's very questionable about Black American people, because here on our local scene in Jamaica, we have non-black people, we have white people who are part of dancehall, a part of reggae, and if they should fix their mouth on one God-given day to say anything that the average Jamaicans don't like, it would not be a pretty day for them. It simply wouldn't be. You understand? But I guess in the American scene, and Black Americans, they are a bit different. They are a bit different, and different they are. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day, and may God bless you. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.